Hello. Oh, I didn't switch it first. There we go. We have a battle to face. And it's time we got started in fighting it. So, let's get on with it, shall we? Alphino is considering how best to carry out Wuk Lamat's plan. Lamati. Well, the hour of departure is at hand. Those of us remaining here shall accompany you part of the way. I, for one, would like to see the dome firsthand. We set forth as soon as everyone is ready. I will inform Wuk Lamat that... There you all are. There she is. Ah, Lamachi. We were just planning to call on you. Are you ready to leave? I am. Seeing the people come together as one, knowing they haven't given up hope, it was all the encouragement I could ask for. Right then, let's get going. We leave for Tural Skygate. And so begins our journey into Zone 5. Yauslani's Shadow. So is this gonna end up being Heritage Found? Or is Heritage Found a town? Because Heritage Found wasn't in Shalawani. So Heritage Found is either in Yauslani or it's the name of an aetheryte, a location. Because I didn't even remember if Yauslani or Shalani was mentioned. Okay. Tural. Discovery? Tuliyollal, Orkpacha, Yaktel, Kazamauka. Shalani was there. Okay, Shalani was there mentioned. Solution 9 exists, but that's all that's being mentioned here. Harsh weather incoming. And improved. Tural Talk, now hosted by 100% real person. The website's a curious one. All of the weird shit going on. Anyway. What are you two discussing? Kona and Kedenram will continue to manage affairs of the palace. Once I've inspected the dome, I will join them to make preparations against further incursions. Even from afar, I can sense something isn't right about that dome. I mean, we don't exactly have a way of seeing it from here. As Lamachi says, let's stay vigilant. We should have everything we need for the expedition, from food to medicine to gear. Quite amazing how much you can fit in Erinville's rucksack. The dome appears to lie well beyond Shaloni. A good thing we have Erinville to guide us. Yauslani isn't exactly a short distance from Shaloni. If the train isn't operating, we'll need to consider other means of travel. Everyone's here? Good. This is it, my friends. We go to strike down Zoralja and secure peace for Tuliyollal. We'll be passing through Shaloni Where there have been reports of enemy movement, so stay sharp. Shaloni. God, this is so similar to what's his face attacking. Innocence attacking. The Landsguard had told me about them. They emerged from the dome in quick succession and took to looming overhead. A display of force, like the vessels in Tuliyollal. Indeed. And while they have taken in any aggressive actions, I want to see how things are in the area before moving on. We'll be passing a few settlements on the way to Shaloni Station. It's a perfect opportunity to look around. In that case, Berkel and I know a few locals who can help. Then, let's divide into 2 groups. Ernville, Alizé, and Berkel will come with me to inquire with the locals. Meanwhile, the rest of you can go and inspect the dome. Understood. Once everyone is finished, let us reconvene at Shaloni Station. We can start with Hustawi. That's where the Dust Watch is based. I thought it was Duskwatch. Dustwatch, if I remember correctly. Voodoo? The Sheriff Kamaka should be able to tell us a few things. Did I actually get the Ether Current for the main story quest? I did not. Okay. I have 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I have 3 quests for Ether Currents right now. So we should still have 1 more Ether Current quest to get from here, in terms of blue quest, and then we'll get the full Ether Current quest as well. People of the wilds are brave indeed to remain here with those ships overhead. So, this region has its own peacekeeping force. Everything seems in order at a glance. Oh, it's you 2. And I'll be Wuk Lamat as well. You're Sheriff of the Dust Watch, yes? What's the situation here in Hustawi? Well, the enemy hasn't tried to pick a fight with us yet. The ships gave us a shock when they first appeared, but they've just been floating there, holding position. That said, I've received some unsettling reports from elsewhere. We've been investigating to the extent we can, but we're spread thin and haven't looked into Sheshanuezi Springs yet. Apparently, mechanical soldiers were seen in the vicinity. What? If this is true, then the people there are in danger. I worry about the other townships as well. If the rest of you could head there, I'll accompany Ernville. I'll see you in a while. Rest of you could head to the springs. I'll pay a visit to Mehwatasan. Let's do the springs. Alright, Lamati. Yeah, we can see the dome better here. And all clear this way. Mechanical soldiers don't seem to be in the area. Still, we should talk to the locals. Let's make rounds and see what we can learn. Go chat with the yacht. Yatte. Also talk to our train boys. Oh. They're not here? Let's just move on. Whatever the hell is happening up there. Over here somewhere then? Right. Someone in the building? Or beside the building? In the building? Oh. Completely miss you. Oh, you're the one who helped us the other day. Walika said, and the others are out investigating. And they've confirmed that Nitowikwi is safe. It appears the train had begun its journey back here that the dome appeared. So those who were riding the train then are fine. But we don't know what's become of those who disembark in Yasaluni. What a mess. And just after we finished fixing the tracks. Oh. Here's one of the mechanical soldiers. Shows no signs of life. It appears to have been run through with a polearm. I would have loved if we turned around and this guy had a polearm. Would have been great. So that's the way of it. Good thing we shut up when we did. Yeah, we needed to talk to Yate anyway. Raquel, you came. As you can see, we're doing alright. After those ships appeared in the sky, soldiers clad in white showed up and surrounded the town. But to our surprise and relief, a traveller came along and dealt with them all in a flash. Ah! Estinian did. I say. I'll never forget the way he soared through the air, spear in hand. Shame, I never had a chance to ask his name. We're all safe thanks to him, but I can't say the same for those in Yasaluni. We haven't heard from anyone there. I hope Namika as well. Yeah, me too. Especially with Lamatia with us. It's like, last thing I want to happen is Lamatia to go with us to find out that Namika is gone. You heard about the spearman as well. That couldn't be anyone else. What's this? Someone spreading more gossip about me. Hey, there he is. There's our boy. Talk of how I say save the town travels fast. That's not the to discount the help of my friend here. Of course, we gave those machines a real beating. I thought you'd come sooner or later. Do you know what's happening? So, you were indeed the one keeping the people safe. Thank you. Think nothing of it. The automata aren't particularly strong. But the rumors are true. Galuljaja is slain. I'm afraid so. Zeralja used some dirty trick to get the better of him. We'll make him pay for what he has done, mark my words. You're going to help her, I assume. I see. With your contingent, you won't lack for strength. In which case, I'll remain in Shaloni and keep an eye on things. That helps us more than you know. I'll send word to my brother before we set off. If you find yourself in trouble, don't hesitate to contact Kona. Kona? Brother? Wait a second. You're the Vow of Resolve. I am. And you're Zakoa, right? I'll be counting on you to keep everyone here safe. Absolutely. More of those hollow men show up, I'll send them packing. I'm the fastest gun in Shaloni. After all, Berkel can attest to that. Glad to hear it. We leave Shaloni in your capable hands. Let's get patrolling right away then. Stay safe out there and don't do anything reckless. Wasted words. Just do what comes naturally. I mean, with all of the shit that we've done before, telling us not to do anything reckless is kind of pointless. Kind of pointless. Right then, time we headed to the station and joined the others. I love how Estinian just pops up every now and then as part of the story here. It's like every so often, it's like, oh hey, Estinian's there. Ah, that be the last blue quest. Good. Which means we're pretty much done in this zone now. It seems those soldiers only appeared in Sheshinowezi Springs. Could they have been after the ceruleum? It seems the people of Shaloni are safe. What a relief. Wow, Hutsoin is still safe, but the animals are unsettled by recent events. The dome is absolutely massive. What manner of kingdom do you suppose is claimed as what within its borders? He's claimed within its borders. Raha and I visited the settlements west of here. Thankfully, there was no damage or casualties to speak of. I heard from Wuk Lamat that Estinian was here. With him to watch over them, the people of Shaloni will have naught to fear. That is true. Thanks to Estinian, there were no casualties to speak of in Shaloni. The Hitsaro were safe as well. At the very least, there were no sightings of soldiers there. What about the dome? Did you learn anything of note? It is composed of exceedingly high concentrations of lightning energy. To even touch the barrier would prove fatal. When approaching it, we must exercise all caution. And how are we supposed to get inside? If Saralja and his army emerge from within, there ought to be an entrance. An entrance, you say? It so happens we might have an inkling where one is. It's the train boys! These are the engineers of Tural railing, which operates the train between Shaloni and Yasulani. When we went out to recover the train, we had ourselves a look at the dome through a telescope. It was then that we saw a large fortress-like structure that looked like it straddled the dome's edge. You're telling us part of it's inside and part of it's outside? That seemed to be the case, yes. While we only observed from afar, soldiers were coming and going from it. From that, I'd say it serves as a passage between the outside world and whatever's inside. But as you'd expect, the area was heavily defended. It won't be easy to get near. Do you know what became of the passengers who went to Yaslani? Wuk Lamat's nursemaid was among them, a woman named Namika. What? I'm afraid not. Only those passengers who were headed back here are accounted for. I can say for a fact that everything was fine when we arrived in Yaslani. But when that big tremor struck, not long after we left the station, I hit the emergency brakes and looked back, and all I could see was the dome. What's more, the fortress sits right on the tracks of all places. What are the odds of that, huh? Does Alphino not recognize that these guys share a striking similarity to the trolley boys from Amarang? Assuming this fortress serves as a means to pass through the dome, we should first determine how we're to reach it undetected. I don't care if we're detected. I say we smash our way inside. Despite how it sounds, I actually gave this some thought. Saralja wants me to prove that I'm Father's worthy successor. If I fail, he'll destroy Tuliyollal. By charging in head-on, I make my intentions plain as day, and in so doing, keep his eyes on me. A bold strategy. I like it. Of course, your plan will be no good if you're cut down before reaching the base. What you need is something that will get you there quick and break through their defenses with a single decisive blow. And we have just that. Since the tracks go straight to the fortress, we can reinforce our train with armor, load her with all the fuel she'll carry, and send her hurtling at it to explode on impact. Chief, have you gone insane? You were just saying how relieved you were that the train's in one piece. Now you want to turn it into a bomb. The train's not important. Our dream was to have railroads running from coast to coast, remember? If these invaders have their way, there may not be any more railroads, let alone trains to run on them. Is that what you want? It's a sacrifice we have to make. These good folks are willing to put their lives on the line to get inside that dome and put a stop to all this. The least we can do is help them. But Chief... Listen, no matter how hard things may get, no matter how many times we fall, we can always get back up. As long as we're alive, we can always build another train. So have faith and quit your complaining. But what if we fall really, really hard and there's no getting back up if we're dead? No one's dying on this train. See to it myself. Needless to say, this will be a one-way trip, and we'll need to jump off at the last moment if we don't want to go out in a blaze of glory. You alright with that? There's no changing our mind, is there? Promise me you'll be careful out there, honey. Oh no! We won't leave you with any sorrows to drown. Oh. Fucking bringing back Shadowbringers memes, man. Seeing as I've never tried to drink in my life, I certainly hope not. It'd be a lie to say the loss of the train doesn't concern me. But with good friends and my loving wife beside me, that's all I really need in the end. Well, at least it'll go down as the legendary train that saved Tural. That it will. But first we've got work to do, so she'll look the part. I don't know much about Magitech, but if there's anything I can do to help, you need but say the word. We'll keep that in mind. If any of you are willing and able to lend a hand, there's work that needs doing over at the storehouse. Does Alphino and Aluzane have recognized them? Seems we have a path forward. I believe this is a good time for me to return to Tuliyollal and inform Kona of the situation. I shall return as well. I have new investigations to pursue. The dome's elemental aspect is similar to that of the gate of the Golden City. If we can identify a connection, we may learn something of use in our fight. It's one mystery after the next, but at least we're not without clues. It may not be easy, but I know we can get through this together. I'm sad Alphino didn't make a comment about how they seem similar. Well, we have our plan. Now let's finish this train and blast our way into the dome. I hope Namika is safe. The ships seem content to remain waiting in the sky, so let us take this opportunity do what we can and prepare. To use this train as an explosive is a brazen plan. We'll have but one attempt, so we had best make it count. Even only just having met them, I can see how important the train is to Walika and the engineers. We can't let their sacrifice be for nothing. Your plan is set, but Grahatia is not without reservations. While I have no objections to the plan itself, I have one concern. How can we be certain that Zeralja will not strike Tuliyollal in retaliation? I've considered the possibility, but when my brother told me to come and prove myself, he meant it. He wants to show that his kingdom is superior to Tuliyollal, and it'll give him no satisfaction to attack when he knows I'm not there. No, he'll be waiting for us. Waiting inside the dome, waiting for us to challenge him so he can crush us and prove his strength. Indeed, if anything, we're more likely to put Tuliyollal in danger by not taking the fight to him. So, we indulge Zeralja at least until Tuliyollal has shored up its defenses. Right. We'll charge in from the front and keep his eyes on us, during which time Kona will find a way to fortify Tuliyollal. If we believe this is the best choice, then we shall trust in your judgment. I expect there will be no small amount of enemy resistance, but we will do all in our power to assist you. Thank you. Well, time is of the essence. Let's go and see what's left to be done for the train. It's warm today. My room is just really warm to begin with. Also, probably not helping is the fact that I had spicy Mexican food for dinner. There's the train. So when it's coming in, it goes that way and it hits that to turn around. Do they turn each cart individually? Then that's the only thing I can think of. That training or turning thing is only big enough for one thing at a time, so let's push it on, turn it, push it off again. Where to begin? Namati. Everyone's hard at work on the train. I can't wait to see how it turns. Where's everybody else at? There's Alize and Karael. Railroad foreman. And there's Aaronville over there. It's a shame Sid and his engineers aren't here to help. If they were here, I'd expect they'd turn it into a flying train. Benza has given me a list of materials. We'll see if they have everything they need. Zeralja's forces remain quiet for now. If there is any movement, I'll alert everyone immediately. Up there in the darkness of night. And everywhere it's just ominous clouds. This quest doesn't give the thing, no? Ooh. Looks like work is getting underway. We'll finish in no time at all. So, what can we do to help? No need to hold back. As I understand it, the two of you met your fair share of craftsmen during the Rite of Succession. Would you happen to know a few who would be willing to come and help us? Complete modifications to the train. Of course! What sort of craftsmen do you have in mind? Perhaps my greatest concern is keeping the train safe from enemy attacks. Even with you all aboard to fend them off, it'll be over in an instant if they manage to get just one good hit on the cerulean tank. According to eyewitnesses, soldiers use lightning-based weapons, so I have a mind to install grounding rods. Would you happen to know a carpenter who can handle that? You could ask Wuk. God, this really is like the fucking, This is getting very similar to Mount Gould now. A master carpenter from Okado, eh? If they'd be willing, we'd be glad to have them. No objections from me. Just be sure not to forget their traditional greeting. But we'll need more than just a carpenter if we want this done in a timely fashion. We've got a lot of equipment that needs moving. Heavy equipment. I don't suppose you know anyone up to the task. Perhaps Zormorwar can help. Would be perfect. It would be hard for us to find folks stronger than the Yakwai. And I'm sure he'd be willing to help. You're friends with the Yakwai? I'll be damned. Well, we'll not want for strength with help like that. Next, I'd like to outfit the train with some powerful weaponry of its own. Like as not, the soldiers will be riding their flying vessels. We'll need countermeasures to deal with them. That's true. I, for one, can't use magic. Nor am I handy with a firearm like my brother. Any ideas for ranged weapons we can use? Let's install ballistas on the train. Big ones. Ballistas, huh? While they'd be powerful, it seems to me they'd take too long to reload between shots. If there were some sort of ballista that could reload quickly, then that might work, but weapons aren't exactly my field of expertise. Perhaps I can be of assistance. Oh yeah, Raha? What do you have in mind? Crystarium employed etheric cannons for its defenses. I see no reason why the design cannot be adopted for your train. While I did not conceive them myself, I know their design. It should be possible to build them here, provided we have the requisite materials and the skilled smiths. Now that sounds like something Fonchantine can help with. What are the materials we need? The barrel can be fashioned from any metal, so long as it's highly conductive to ether. To power the cannon, we will require fire-aspected crystals of the highest purity. Fire crystals, eh? Might be as the miners over at the springs can help with that. Then, if I could leave the crystals and smiths in everyone's hands, I shall get started drawing up the schematics. Right then, I'll secure us the smiths. In the meantime, could you deal with the materials? Shenza is in charge of our supplies, so it might be good to talk to him about it first. Well, I think we're set for a plan. Thanks for the consultation. Now, let's get this train dressed up and give her the proper farewell she deserves. This is becoming very similar to the thing. The way to Mount Gulg, which, if I remember correctly, was also the 7 dungeon. Here's the plans coming together to make good speed. I'm going to try and enlist some more help from among our friends back in Tural. I'll leave the materials in Yorker. I think I saw Shenza over to the southeast. Yeah, we're still in 96 for now, but I have a feeling it's going to change to 97 quite soon. That's not Shenza anyway. Oh, he's there. Alright, time to put my knowledge gained in the first to use. That should be enough lumber for the armor. What else do we need? Oh, sorry. I didn't see you there. What can I do for you? More like, what can I do for you, sir? Etheric cannons. Interesting. I have an idea where we can get the conductive metal, so I'll take care of it. I'm not sure about the fire crystals, though. Might be best if you spoke directly with a miner. Can I leave that to you? Can't do that on Twitch. Oh, should I really be making jokes like that? You're friends with the Yata, right? One of the best miners around. If anyone can get you crystals you're after, it's her. So she's good with crystals. She's good with a bow. Does she mine with a bow? That would be an impressive form of mining. Shooting arrows at blocks in order to get them to break. Why are the barrel tenders here as a target practice? We haven't actually run into a barrel tender yet, now that I think about it. Oh, Berkel, what brings you around these parts? The purest fire crystals, you say? I think I heard tell about them before. But what was that about? We're creating that cannon. A way to obtain fire crystals is on the tip of Yate's tongue. Now remember, Tural and Alas. You can find them to the south of the town. They actually ingest fire crystals and keep them in their gut, if you can believe it. If you want the purest crystals, though, you'll have to go after the oldest, toughest Analas. Nothing you can't handle, right? I'll show you where you can find some to hunt. Looking forward to seeing why Erenville thinks so highly of you. Excuse me. This Firebird definitely glows a whole lot more now. Good old Phoenix. Phoenix. There's quite a lot of fiery wildlife in these parts. We think it's due to the ceruleum, but no one can say for sure. Still, it's not often that you see a bigger dominating sort, and that's what you need. What you'll have to do is hunt down a few of their kind, establish yourself as a threat. That's known to draw out the leader. Leave it to me. That's the spirit. While you're on the hunt, I'll keep watch nearby to make sure no hapless travelers come stumbling in. A wild data. Dodged. Oh, come on. And now the Napala tender. No, Pali tender. Some tuna. What a weird fucking thing to get from a cactus. It's not I've not heard of the fruit of a cactus being referred to as a tuna before. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. I'm all yawns now. Amazing, you dealt with the beast in no time at all. You need the crystal delivered to Shensa. I'll see that he gets it. These fire crystals are for the train, aren't they? I've heard about your plans to enter the dome. I want to thank you for going to such lengths to stop these invaders. And though he'd grumble if he knew I was asking this, please take care of Enishepia. Enelel? I don't know. Elenishpia. Elishnorn. Erinville is now Elishnorn. I shall accept no other name. Alright. After this quest. After stream today, I'll go around and do my quest for flight here. Actually, let's quickly run up here to grab the final bits of this map. We have it. Because I have a feeling that this is going to be dungeon, same thing as kind of Mount Gulg. Mount Gulg was, because we're in 96 story right now, and I wouldn't be surprised if this ends up going all the way to 97 and leading into our next trial. Because so my assumption, right, because they didn't put the Eliminator down as a trial, this first trial is going to end up being against Zeralja, and then we'll do Zeralja again, but a bit more intense. Although they've not done that before as a secondary trial. So, I don't know. I just don't feel like the Eliminator is going to end up being the trial. Because they didn't put the Eliminator in the trial, as the trial, so my assumption is that the Eliminator is not the trial for the zone, or the second trial. Shenza told me you got the crystals for him. Good work. I have just returned from looking for extra help. We'll see in a moment who answers the call. All will be in readiness for them when they arrive. Damn it! I'm idle for a moment, and all I can think about is my home. Keep your chin up, Erinville. We'll be on our way soon. We'll find your mother. It'd be good to see her again after all these years. There's so much I'd like to ask her about her time together with Papa. Oh, she'll talk your ears off. Once my mother starts, there's no stopping her. I wouldn't want it any other way. Right, let's return to helping where we can. The real work begins when the extra hands arrive. That's a fair amount of extra hands. No, even the sheriff showed up to help. Thanks for making the trek here. To be honest, I wasn't expecting so many of you. Sorry. Since the attack on Tuliyollal, I had been wondering if there was aught I could do to help. So when I heard about the upcoming operation from Valcona, I'd left it the chance to do my part. Peace will be restored, then we can all enjoy a nice cup of mezcal. It's our home. I'm gonna do whatever it takes to keep it safe. While I assist with the efforts here, High Luminary Gorfalor does the same at the capital. Oh, nice. Truly grateful. All of us working together, there's nothing we can't accomplish. Let's get to it, my friends. Yes, let's get to it. We can't let his wife die again. Not fair on the dude. He can't be wifeless on 2 reflections. It is cool seeing everyone help out, though. Big montage time. Montage with good music. Alright, everyone. That'll do it. You've done your part. Leave it to us to finish mounting the armor and cannons and have yourself a hard-earned rest. Thank you all again for answering the call. No need for thanks. Now, whenever you need help, just give us a holler. Indeed, we must all do our part when our nation is imperiled. You're here. We love Tural, and we love you, Wuk Lamat. I love you all too. Your kindness and goodwill will not be in vain. This I promise. Excuse me. I'm surprised we didn't have an alternative kobold here. Suppose we got them on the first though. The train area of the first. Thanks again for your help. All your help. Wouldn't have been able to finish so quickly without you. Go and rest up, friend. Won't be long before the train's ready. Temptation is there to just travel to the first. Go to Twine and just find his reflection in Twine. Despite his fatigue, there's an undeniable air of satisfaction about Walika. From here on out, we won't stop working till the train's ready. If you have any preparations, now would be a good time to see to them. The boarding call will come before you know it. Wait for the engineers to finish working on the train? Yes. Do anything else after this bout of story?
Right, we're just about done with the modifications, but I have to stress that we cannot afford a test run.
It's fine. We understand and accept the risks. We have faith in you and your craft. I'm sure everything will go to plan. With all the hard work everyone's put in, it couldn't be otherwise.
Don't want Aaronville to get hurt.
Finished at last.
Oh God.
Behold, the pinnacle of locomotive engineering, the Dawn Blazer.
Amazing!
Nodders.
Yep, she's been fitted with wooden armor and a crystal grounding rod to mitigate the effects of lightning. Naturally, we had to overhaul the engine so it could handle the extra weight.
I also had her outfitted with etheric cannons, the better to contend with enemy forces. And as they're modelled upon those used at the Crystarium, I can attest to their potency.
So, what do you reckon? Given the tight turnaround, I'd say we did a damn good job.
It's a shame we have to blow her up. Oh, this is the toughest locomotive I've seen. Let them try and stop us in this.
Glad she's to your liking. I hate to let go of such a beautiful piece of machinery, but I know you'll give her a proper send-off for us.
Besides, kind of can always make another one.
Get moving.
Yep, you won't get far if you let them pummel you from the air, but you'll be safe enough once you reach the tunnel.
In that case, I will conceal the train with a spell once everyone is on board. It should last long enough for us to reach the tunnel unnoticed.
Right. So everyone, are we ready?
Let's do this.
We've done all we can. Rest is up to you.
I won't let you down.
We can't let his wife die again. We can't let it happen. I refuse to accept it.
All aboard!
Wait, I thought Graha was coming with us.
Vanish.
I guess Graha is not coming with us? Oh, he is on the board.
Speed, we should arrive at the dome in no time at all.
But not before we're spotted, I expect. Stay alert!
Here we go. Stand fast, everyone.
I thought this was going to turn into what the fuck's the name of the thing Gold Saucer?
No, you don't.
Air Raid or whatever it was called in Golden Saucer. Huh. Their normal guns are not lightning.
They switched to firearms!
We really are getting to the point of something where it's where it's very Wild West inspired.
Oh dear.
Raha, jump!
Oh no, Alizek! Oh god. I got you.
Erinville, I need you to take over for me.
Yes. The woman with the big axe. What? That's ridiculous. She's smacking the bullets away with her axe. We are a practiced shot.
End of the line, everyone!
Nice. Fucking hell. Oh my lord. Knock knock.
Oh, that was too close. Still alive, Erinville?
Mostly.
Good. Like I said, we cannot let Train Guy's wife die again. I will not allow it to happen.
At last, the enemy stronghold. We should hurry before they can regroup.
Let's go and find out what's inside.
Is this going to be an instance zone that leads to the dungeon? Or is this going to just be the map? Vanguard now accessible. So an instance that leads to a dungeon. Cool. Passage to Shaloni. Alright. The rest is up to you now. I can make my own way back, so don't worry about me. Take care. Good luck. Alright. Let's do this with trust. Sorry, Alize. You're being left out of this one. Jacques Tural. Vanguard. So funny to see a gunbreaker and a warrior in the dungeon together.
Hold on.
I have to remember that arm's length is also a mitigation on packs like this. I keep forgetting that though.
Hold on.
Second trial has to be close now too, because this is a 97 dungeon. Which means I need to update my title after this. Oh.
Allow me.
S7 because gun. G7 for, or sorry, S7 for sword, G7 for gun. Hang on, let me update title. We are now MSQ level 97. There we go. Holding line. R7. I mean, we might as well activate you guys as well, since you're gonna fly over towards us. No? Oh, you do donuts. I see. Oh, because they can transform. I see.
Hold on. Hold on.
So does the Eliminator end up being the fucking final boss of this dungeon? Because we definitely fight the Eliminator here somewhere. The question of what they're doing here, though, is a different thing. Because it's like, yeah, sure, they could just be a dungeon boss, or they could be a trial. Really tell you, does it? Especially considering he wasn't down as a trial boss on the website for Dawntrail. You like getting up close and personal, huh?
Just the beginning.
Ah. Huh. Interesting. Dispatch. Dispatch again. Oh. Oh. I see. They hit the edge opposite them. Inside is safe. Okay. Lines. 4 lines. He's dispatching again. Going to be lines? No. Lines from the corners. Ah, no, just the corners get hit after. I see. I see. Whew. Ow. Okay, I moved in too early. Use a scouting. That's not armor that I need. Alert, alert, intruders have been detected. The fact that you still see those when you pick Commander Unlimited is ridiculous. At least I don't see the falling palms, because that would be really disruptive. Why did I hear the, like, confusion sound effect? The fluttering wings sort of confusion. Whew. No, I forgot the second set of enemies. Surely it's almost boss time.
Hold on.
To what, Graha? To the enemy? Really? Really, brain? I went to all the effort getting fucking 3 cartridges loaded up, only to go into No Mercy and immediately hit Bloodfest. Losing 3 cartridges. Thanks, brain.
Hold still.
I appreciate that stupidity. I'm liking the battle music for this area though. Pretty nice. Ooh. Oh, the Eliminator is definitely the boss of this dungeon. Well, what do we have here? Another hunk of metal for the scrap pile. Wow. Starting with the limber break, eh, Wuk Lamat? Damn. No. I was standing in one and I didn't see it. Goddamn. Ah, fuck, I'm dead. Getting sleepy, dead. No. Just didn't notice. I've been yawning a lot since after I ate, because I ate a lot of food. Too much food, maybe. Where I was standing, though, I couldn't even see that I was standing in one. That is an old gunbreaker opener. That was a 1-2-3 opener rather than a 1-2. You get hit by that? I did get hit by that. So. Let's stand not between 2 of those. Yeah, there we go. Where's Krile? Okay, Krile's safe. It will make me not stand there anymore. Ooh. Oh god. These I've not seen in a long time. Fucking acceleration bombs. He's starting a maze. Okay, I see. Let's just play over here. I'll take not doing any damage for a little bit just so I can be safe. Or at least not doing proper damage.
Allow me.
my 98? Oh, right. 98 was upgraded reprisal, I believe. Not rampart. I don't remember what was being upgraded. Reprisal. Oops, I might have been too early. It was. Okay, didn't get to use his laser. Still haven't gotten any gear from here. Tanking gear, I mean. Ooh. Pafaza. Are we gonna get more of these? Yes, we are. Oh, come on. Wuk Lamat! I blame this on you. This is what you get for trying to be a tank when you're not a tank. Like, you may be a tank outside of this dungeon, but in here, I am the tank. I see we're currently going through a tunnel that actually leads into leads into Yasulani.
Allow me.
These are an interesting design for mobs as well.
Allow me.
Is he saying allow me whenever he does a big heal? I don't know if that's the case or not. I do enjoy though that they went to the effort with Graha of giving him conjured weapons when he changes jobs, so he's not always using the same weapon. Whereas from watching or having seen it on Chris's stream, Alice is still just a fucking red mage when she's a healer. She's just designated a healer. About to question whether Wuk Lamat was actually safe where she was standing. She was, thankfully. You know, there's a certain part of me that wants there to be more inherent AoE in DPS rotations.
Hold on.
Like, there's a lot of inherent AoE in Viper rotations. Like when Viper reawakens, that is that's all AoE. Although there's no specific AoE version of the Awaken abilities. Just all of the abilities that are part of the Awaken combo are AoE. No more? Huh. I thought there would be another pack after this. Why is he particularly tanky? Alright. They were watching us too. Huh? Such a serious breach should be allowed. But it ends now. Sander? A snake skinner. Ophiuchus. Oh. A Zodiac? Or Zodiac, rather? Ophiuchus. Xander. Huh. He also has a thing on his head. Tall for a human. Or a here, rather. Electrothermia. Somebody else enticed by the members of the other shard. Do their bidding. Alright. Go inside again. Okay. He's almost... He's less than half health already. This feels surprisingly weak for a dungeon boss. For the final boss of a 97 dungeon, this feels weak.
Just the beginning.
Wait, what the fuck happened to Wuk Lamat? What? How did her health get so low? He got hit by the fucking thing last time. Something's definitely off. He's dying too quickly. Oh, right, because he'll revive. Yeah. That was no resurrection magic. Soul of the Serpent, the Great Devourer, give me the strength to destroy our enemies. Ah! That makes a little bit more sense. If he's a Zodiac... Well, I suppose Ophiuchus isn't technically a Zodiac. That's an interesting one. Yeah, Ophiuchus, the snake isn't technically a Zodiac. But it kind of depends on who you're talking to. They're Bane foreground. Oh, double attack. Oh! Rear guard. I see. Rear guard again. Fore guard. Get behind him. He still has the thingy on his head? No, he doesn't. He poured so much of his soul into that one. Whew. Except now his body evaporates. Okay. There's the enhanced reprisal. I got the war axe. God damn it. Alright, what gear did I get? Chest piece. This is obviously the dungeon that gives you the armor.
What greeted us was not the home that I had left behind. There was no mistaking we had reached Yasulani, and yet it was wholly unlike my memories. The lands of my childhood had changed beyond imagining. To where had I returned? We tread on, the darkened skies above a mirror to my heart, clouded with fear and uncertainty.
How bizarre. This cannot be Yasulani, can it?
So this is heritage found. Yeah. And I'm assuming up on top over there is solution 9. Yaslani Station, outskirts, Electrope. Right. I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't this. There was no sensation of passing into a different world. This couldn't be a reflection, could it? I mean, if their tech is good enough, I don't think you'd feel it. This is Yasulani? What happened here? I was prepared for something strange, but this, it's unlike another world. It's like another world. Don't understand. Ernville looks upon Yaslani in disbelief. It doesn't make sense. That tower, was it always there? No, definitely not. Or the wall over there. The material is not something we use in Tural. Closer to what we saw at the gate to the Golden City. Or those mechanical soldiers. The massive structure couldn't possibly have been built in such a short time. And I'm inclined to assume we've been transported to another location, or perhaps... Well, speculation will avail us not. We need to learn more before we can draw. Let's take a look around then. Oh, Jesus. He got 2 bits of gear from his run. An axe beak. Oh god. Been a long time since I've seen an axe beak. Weren't they enemies in 9? Oh god, that's a minion from the dungeon, isn't it? I'm pretty sure axe beaks were a minion at the beginning of 9. I'm gonna check. Hang on. And it's this design too. The Mist Continent non-forest world map areas. Bermesia and Clara outside Lindblom. Yeah! Damn! I recognize the lay of the land. It's definitely Yaslani, and yet haven't seen anyone so far. Don't know if this is music remix from 9. This place is isolated by the dome, yet the skies are heavy with thunderclouds. The air oversaturated with lightning aspected ether. This place is unnatural in a way I've never seen before. Clouds. That looks like a train station, doesn't it? That must be Yaslani Station, where the passengers disembarked. And perhaps we'll find someone to talk to there. Go and investigate. God, the fact that as soon as I seen the axe beak, I was just like, hello, FF9. Oh man, that design is so fresh from FF9. Alright, Graha. Amidst enormous alien structures, we have more familiar sights like this station. Oh, hello. That is this is a water tower for trains, isn't it? It is. Kauhelia? Kauheloa? There's Erinville. Talk to Graha. Trial. Where is Lamachi? Oh, she's at bed. Okay. This aetheryte is of Turali design. fallen into total disrepair, almost as if it hasn't been used in decades. I do wonder if time inside the dome was advanced to the point of everything's being out of place. Pretty sure this is Yaslani Station, but from the state of it, I'd swear it was abandoned years ago. Oh, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Not sure what to make of this. We should look around a bit more. Okay. We get a robotic adamantoise. Alright. Building is a rotting husk. It has clearly been many years since anyone lived here. I think this thing is broken. Oh, I thought that was a player. No. No. Don't tell me the mechanical soldiers are supposed to be like the black mages from 9. Don't tell me that's going to be the connection. Oh no. Oh no. Is this going to end up being a friendly fucking robo-soldier? Is his name going to be 6-6 or something? Oh god. Or V6. Or Vi6. Oh, fuck. Goddamn. The tracks are heavily rusted. It would seem they haven't been tended to for a long while. Rusty train turntable. Find a train turntable. The thick layers of rust suggest it hasn't been used for years. Finished poking around, have you? Let's gather everyone then. I want you all to take a look at this. Symbol on its face is different. One of the mechanical soldiers. Long since broken, apparently. It ends up being VV, I'm gonna be annoyed. I'd say its presence confirms this is indeed Zeraldra's domain we're in. I mean, come on, we fought them on the way here, Lamachi. What about the rest of you? Did you learn anything? Oh, please tell me the people didn't get converted into robots either. So all evidence suggests this is Yasulani Station. Aye. And I've no doubt we're in Yaslani, but I don't understand why these buildings are so run down. They were completed barely a year ago. For new structures to deteriorate and enormous ones to appear in a flash. If I didn't know any better, I'd say time flows differently here. Is such a thing even possible? We've encountered this phenomenon before. Still haven't. It may be difficult to believe. Our world is but one of several. In some respects, they're similar to one another, but in others wholly different. We call them reflections. Simply put, the rift between dimensions causes time to flow at a different pace in each world. While hours pass in one, years may have come and gone in another. But if this is Yaslani, then then we would still be in the source. The flow of time should be synchronized. I'm not sure I follow all this talk of reflections and dimensions. But if Erinville says this is Yasulani, Must be. Your village is a little further along, right? Erinville. Oh, yes. It's just a short distance to the northwest. Let's head to the next then. Head there next then. Rather than talk theory, it's always better to confirm things firsthand. May I be of assistance? Still functioning. Doesn't seem to be hostile, at least. Perhaps we can ask it some questions. Can you tell us where we are? Unable to confirm credentials. Please present citizen identification. Unable to confirm credentials. Confirm. Confirm. Seems it's broken after all. Too strange by half. Let's leave it be and get going. Are those lightning rods? Would you accompany me for a moment? There's something I wish to investigate. How's this gonna go? Look there, the lightning appears to be drawn to those pole-shaped structures over yonder. The design suggests there's some manner of lightning rod. Go and take a closer look. The material appears to be the same as that used in the mechanical soldiers and warships. On closer inspection appears to be bare fine etchings, rather reminiscent of arcane runes. These, I suspect, they're not merely decorative. I would posit it's used to harness lightning as a source of energy. Quite impressive technology. I'll share this observation with Stola. For a blessing, the dome doesn't appear to interfere with link pearls. Thanks for accompanying me. Let's head to the village and find the others. Alexandria! Oh no, it is 9. Oh, fuck. Let's stay vigilant. Oh, Erinville. No sign of anyone. This is Erinville's village? What in the world? Another robot.
My home. It's in ruins. But why? What happened here? And where is everyone?
I had a look in a few of the other houses, but they had clearly been abandoned.
Damn it all. None of this makes sense.
FF9 had a bunch of artificial soldiers that were all black
Are you looking
mages.
for someone?
Oh, here she is. The bitch that was in Tuliyollal.
I apologize for giving you a fright. However, I did have reason to keep to the shadows. Sorolja has told me a great deal about you.
So she's from the reflection.
Sorolja.
Greetings, and welcome to the realm of Alexandria.
Please tell me her name is not Garnet.
I am Sphene, the Queen
Okay.
of Reason.
Queen of Reason?
Then Sorolja has probably picked the title King of
If you
King
are
of
the
Resolve.
Queen of Reason, is there perhaps
This music's familiar.
Yes, if you mean to ask if there is a King of Resolve. Zorulja holds that title, and together do we reign.
Then you were both behind the attack on Tuliyollal.
And I doubt you're here to offer us a warm reception.
No, you have it all wrong. I am not come to fight. Zorulja rules alongside me, but that is a matter of expedience. In truth, we are at odds, he and I. It is at considerable risk to myself and my people that I come before you to beg your aid.
Dean is a familiar name.
Our aid. I'll admit I cannot imagine King Zorolja is keen to share and share alike. But if what you say is true, you're still the queen.
Indeed. But I was once the sole ruler of Alexandria. Until one day, he appeared, bent on conquest. In my weakness, I feared his power. So I persuaded him to forego violence and strike a bargain. I would remain queen, and he would receive technology that would empower him to achieve even loftier ambitions, along with the knowledge to use it. A gamble, to be sure, but if it might spare my people...
If I may, the dome surrounding these lands was erected but recently. How is it he was able to not only invade, but instate a new system of leadership in a mere matter of days?
I've never heard of your realm. And this place is, or at least was, Yasolani. The house I grew up in is still here. But 3 years ago, that tower and these strange contrivances weren't. Nor was our village in ruins. Where did you come from? And what happened to the people who lived here? You must know.
There's writing on her back, and I'm wondering what the writing says.
I realize how confusing this all must be. Truth be told, I don't fully understand it myself. What I can say is that one day, people from your Tuliyollal suddenly appeared here in Alexandria. Or perhaps it was we who found ourselves in Tuliyollal. Until but recently, we were completely unaware of events taking place beyond the barrier surrounding our realm.
Does this not remind you of the Crystal Tower? How after the 8th Umbral Calamity, we devised a means to transport the Spire across time and space from the source unto the First. Granted, this is on a much larger scale, if that is indeed what has happened. Not only the people and structures, but also the surrounding environment. Regardless, the people of Lakeland perceived the arrival of the Crystal Tower much as the Queen describes her own experience. Sudden and inexplicable.
Well then, you appear to have a better grasp of our circumstances than we do. Indeed, more than I dared hope. In which case, a closer examination of the effects of this phenomenon may afford us more insights. Allow me to take you to the outskirts. A number of the Shatona live there as well. Perhaps your acquaintances are among them.
Hold on. If we accept, there's no guarantee we're not walking into a trap.
But if we're to defeat Zorolja, we need to understand how he grew so strong. Besides...
Wait, it makes even more sense now. Zorolja's comments about his father having died years ago. That means decades or years must have gone by. So how many years?
Greensfin, before we go, Your Majesty, I have to ask, did you really have nothing to do with the attack on Tuliyollal?
Noble Wuk Lamat, shall we dispense with the formalities? I'll not deny the soldiers and airships that attacked your people are products of Alexandria. But it was Zorolja, not we, who fashioned them into weapons of war and laid siege to Tuliyollal.
They are meant to be the artificial creatures.
So he alone is to blame.
No, I may not have prosecuted this war, but I nevertheless bear responsibility for it.
Perhaps. I know next to nothing about you, let alone what you've been through. So by all means, show us around. I think we'll learn a lot from meeting your people.
Wonderful! If you would follow me.
I think we're going to be trouble if Zorolja hears of this. Isn't it a little odd for a queen to be walking about on her lonesome?
Is that concern or suspicion?
Bit of both.
If things should take a turn for the worse, might I call upon your aid? I jest, of course, but you do strike me as the most capable here.
If we're talking 9, and we're talking about Garnet, Garnet's a gemstone. Sven is also a gemstone. I think it goes without saying, but we're not going to trust her just like that, right? And the way you look at it, it's a mysterious girl who appears out of nowhere proclaiming herself queen is suspicious. But the way Zorolja spoke when he fought Galal Jaja, he spoke as if multiple years had gone by. Wait, 8th Umbral Calamity? Hang on. Election. And then the Codex. Source has been visited by 7 cataclysmic events known as the Umbral Calamities. The first of these was the Calamity of Wind, followed by the Calamity of Lightning, Fire, Earth, Ice, and Water, and finally the Calamity of Darkness. While these disasters may seem the logical consequence of conflict or natural phenomena, they could not, in truth, have occurred without a massive disruption of the etherical equilibrium of a reflection world, when a reflection's balance shifts drastically towards a single aspect, the heightened elemental energies seep into the source. Much as water flows from the higher to lower ground, an influx of fire-aspected ether might cause extended droughts, for example, while ice could result in a widespread drop in temperature. These anomalies become increasingly common until a final great catastrophe breaks down the barrier between the two worlds. In that moment, all the ether which comprises the reflection floods into the source, and the catastrophe swells into a full-fledged umbral calamity. Though it did not take place within our present timeline, the 8th umbral calamity's origin can be traced back to the first, where the power of light was ascendant. Even as the luminous excess bled into the source, the Garlean Empire launched its Black Rose campaign, Black Rose upon the battlefield, and the deadly gas itself, a weapon of light-based nature, was amplified far beyond its expected potency. It spread over a vast area, halting the circulation of ether and killing every living being with which it came into contact. The ether currents themselves were stilled, and the repercussions of this stagnation rippled throughout the environment. The Alliance leaders and the Scions who had gathered to fight the Imperial armies were slain where they stood. Thus began an age of unending war. Order broke down, violence ran rampant, and all fought in the savage battle for survival. In the midst of civilization's collapse, it was Cid and his Garland Ironworks stalwarts who led the development of an ambitious and far-reaching plan. Founded upon the knowledge that they had gleaned in preceding years, groups set out to create a reality in which the 8th Umbral Calamity never happened, to build a past in which the calamity was prevented and ensure that the fallen heroes survived into the future. The engineers and their collaborators toiled for generations, running their lives and the lives of their descendants to bringing this mad scheme to fruition. Finally, after decades of preparation, they succeeded in transporting the reawoken Crystal Tower backwards through the years into the world of the First. Many adventures and misadventures later, darkness was restored to the ailing reflection. The 8th Umbral Calamity was averted. None who live today bore witness to that tragedy, nor the great effort with which went into making this miracle possible. None will ever know who their saviors were, or the thoughts and fears which drove them. None will ever know if their bleak future was erased by the changing of history, or if it endures in a fork of time, time's eternal river, here and now. Their hopes for the world are evident only in the continued survival of those they gave everything to save. I was just like, when I seen 8th Umbral Calamity pop up, I was like, wait, what? A royal welcome. Trying to keep a close eye on the Queen. Having established that we should be wary, we could use more information. Let's head to this place, the outskirts, and see what we can learn. Perhaps this, about Sphene as well. Excuse me. A relief to see the people here as well, at least. A most unusual farm, but the produce appears normal enough. Have you ever seen such strange contraptions? I wonder what this one is used for. The innovations of Alexandria are nothing short of extraordinary. These brick buildings, I've seen their like before, but I cannot remember where. I trust you have similar farming facilities in Tural? They're completely different from ours. I've got no idea what all these machines do. We settled on this approach after some trial and error. The Turali have their own methods of farming, which they wanted to continue employing. But the environment makes it challenging. There's too much rain and not enough light. Thankfully, the use of electrope has allowed us to fortify the buildings here, as well as provide what nature cannot. Electrope, what? Electrope. It's a material we use for myriad devices and applications. Topic for another time, perhaps. If you would follow me, we're nearly to the outskirts. No flavor text on that. Surprises me. Is this the place that looks like Alexandria, or is that the other side of the wall? Like the Alexandria one might be the other side of the wall. I really need to play through and finish 9 at some point. Stop playing Dawntrail and go do FF9. Rather lively settlement, isn't it? In defiance of the ceaseless gloom, almost. The relief to see the people here are well. Hopefully the same can be said for everyone in Yaslani. This is a Tonawatan village, or at least it was before the dome and these strange contraptions. I'll admit, I've seen nothing particularly suspicious yet. Fascinating how they've combined traditional bricklaying with electro-based engineering. A curious blending of two cultures.
Here we are.
That is definitely Final Fantasy IX remix music.
Alexandria Strange. The traditional agriculture practiced in this village at least.
Is that the Alexandria song? I think that is Alexandria music.
Queen's Fiend? What business brings her here, I wonder?
The Queen has come!
They all have the things. Huh.
You look well, Paquine. And Katonye, I see you've already taken to your new position.
When she introduced herself as queen, I was expecting someone colder. Honestly, she reminds me of you, Lamachi.
Yeah, a little bit.
Me?
It's only natural for a ruler to love her people. And I should like to know them as best I can, even the most trifling details.
The more you come to know them, the more you grow to love them. Who they are and what they've built.
That's it. Beautifully put.
And it would appear that she is well loved in turn.
Your Majesty, you honor us with your presence. And who are these fine people?
Tuliyollal's vow of resolve, Wuk Lamat, and her companions. They come from beyond the barrier, but you needn't worry. They are good people and are to be treated as my honored guests.
The rumors of a link to the outside are true, then. Wuk Lamat is still so young.
Again, indicating the amount of years that have supposedly gone by.
Oh, where are my manners? I am Papone, a leader of sorts of the people living out here.
Papone? That is a Tonawautan ring to it.
Right you are. I take it you hail from this region as well? Teshpiani, perhaps?
Yes, I do. I don't suppose you know a woman by the name of Kafkiwa?
Kafkiwa.
Kafkiwa? I'm afraid I'm not sure if I've ever met someone with that name.
Oh. Mother isn't here. But it's a relief to know at least some of the people of Yasulani are alive and well.
Your mother, you say? Now that you mention it, I do see the resemblance.
You know my mother?
I do. Yes.
Then tell me, please, where is she?
No.
I cannot say. Not here, but
Okay.
I promise I will
Oh.
in due time.
It's like, please tell me that they didn't turn into the robots.
I have a question, Pepone. Do you recall what happened the day the dome first appeared?
The barrier? Well, I remember fixing a shelf that had collapsed after a terrible earthquake. Then the ground began to tremble. There was a brilliant flash of light, and then... Forgive me, my recollection of it all is rather poor.
You needn't push yourself, Papone. After 30 years, no one could blame you for not remembering.
30 years! Holy
30 years?
shit!
As in 30 years in the past?
Ooh!
Absurd though it may sound, there is no doubt in my mind the events that led to the joining of our lands occurred 30 years ago. Which is not to say I understand why our perceptions of the intervening time are so radically different. We only just became aware of the discrepancy when Zoralja's military base was completed, and we were at last able to venture beyond the barrier.
I believed you long dead. To have the chance to kill you myself is an unforeseen blessing.
Yep. Oh.
30 years. Little wonder Zoralja assumed our father had already passed away.
It's not unlike how time passes differently in the First and the Source. The fluctuating space of the rift between them disrupting temporal equivalence. Perhaps the same holds true here, and time flowed faster within the dome.
Meaning this is a piece of another reflection. I think now that the two are connected, they're synced up time-wise again. At least that's what would make sense to me.
I cannot say for certain, but I strongly suspect that to be the case. And based on the Queen's account, this encampment may have come to serve as a physical bridge between the two planes, after which the dome was forced into the Source's temporal flow.
If we're to be certain of anything, we need more information. Sphene, would it be all right if we had a look around and spoke with the townspeople?
By all means.
Time to see what we can see of Alexandria, then.
And its people. I may yet find familiar faces among the survivors from Yasolani.
Oh, if 30 years are gone, then Namika's
Even if
probably
I don't
gone.
understand the half of it, I would
Hmm.
learn more of this place before we confront Zorolja.
Perhaps you'd care to see how we make our living. Though we have always prided ourselves on the use of traditional Tonawatan farming methods, the use of electro-fueled technologies has led to countless agricultural innovations.
I would join you as well.
Ma'am, please, you needn't trouble yourself.
It's no trouble at all. And I promise not to cause any manner of distraction.
Reassuring words, or they would be had I not heard them countless times before. Very well, but do be careful.
Of course. I shall proceed with the utmost care. Now then, if you two would follow me, we can begin the tour.
I can't say that I trust her yet, but I trust that her affection for these people is genuine. And that's enough for me.
She came back like, you coming? Touring Firelands with the Queen of another nation is not how I expected to spend my day. Electrope has done so much to improve the efficiency of their farming, but hasn't replaced everything. People wanted to preserve their old way of life, and we did not want to force ours upon them. You went to such lengths so that our cultures could coexist, even going so far as to learn our tongue. I'm sure everyone appreciated that. Communication was thankfully not an issue, but the Turali tongue is surprisingly similar to Alexandrian. Of course, there are words and phrases for which there is no equivalent, but those can be taught with minimal effort. Through mutual respect, understanding, and patience, we Alexandrians and Turali have learned a great deal from one another. And I am sure there is much you wish to learn as well, so please, if you have questions, do not hesitate to ask. Triple Triad. Man, this is bonkers. Bean is eager to show you around. Rather than bore you with lengthy explanation, let us head back to the farm we passed earlier. UP's Hello, it is called. We can speak with one of the farmers when we arrive. I guess we're off to UP's Hello. Mahausa. Mahusa. Mahuswa? Wait a second. Allow me to introduce Mahausa, one of the most experienced farmhands in all of Alexandria. She's well versed in myriad farming techniques. Indeed, the wealth of knowledge she has shared with the other farmers is what has allowed this place to flourish. Queen Sphene, what I owe this sudden shower of praise. My apologies for the interruption. I am come with guests from beyond the barrier. They wish to learn more of Alexandria, and so I invited them to see how our crops are grown. I do hope that's alright. The rumors of visitors from outside were true. What manner of host would we be to deny them a look around? And I gather your majesty also intended to check on things here? You know me all too well, Mahusa. I thought to seize the opportunity to see how the farmers fare, and perhaps pepper them with a few questions, though I do so enjoy observing and taking part in the work too. Her hair has gone back to just a single color. Is that a bug? That might be a bug. It would appear we have permission, so please, walk the grounds to your heart's content. You go on ahead. I'll keep Sphene company. Don't misunderstand, I'm not suspicious type. But given our positions, it would make sense for us to go around together, wouldn't you say? Fair point. But be sure not to let me out of your sight. I shall remain under Wuk Lamat's watchful eye. Pray, come find us after you've seen your fill and spoken with other farmhands. Her hair lost its highlight color. She has a highlight color that's the highlight color it's supposed to be. You naturally have that highlight color? Okay, you do. Yeah. This is weird to me, man. Finished already, are we? If so, I should very much like to hear what you think of our facilities. Shame Kona's not here to see all these bizarre contraptions. It's definitely a crazy situation, isn't it? How do you like the story so far? I'm liking it. I didn't expect a 30-year time gap. I knew there was a time gap, but Jesus. Light level appear to be fine. As for the power source... Huh? You wish to know about my job? I tend to the fields, mostly. Watering the crops, keeping the soil fertile, and so on. I admittedly took some time until I finally fully understood how best to carry out my duties. I also manage the lamps we use in the fields. We do our best to keep everything up to code. But should they ever start to malfunction, it's up to me to fix them. The land and sky being what they are, we're ensuring a rich harvest makes for constant work. But honestly, I enjoy how involved the process is. Both my parents being Alexandrian, I didn't grow up knowing much of anything about farming. Every day is an opportunity to learn and grow. Elias. Ah, an unfamiliar face. I gather this is your first time on site then. Well, this here is the storehouse, or rather the entrance. The real storehouse is underground. Much more spacious and equipped with a temperature regulation system to keep the harvest from spoiling. Since the entrance is so small, it's much easier to prevent wild beasts from wandering inside. It also makes a viable facility for breeding and raising livestock. We've even got a few beds down there for emergencies. My parents often complain about how Alexandrian technology and electro complicate our lives, but it's just a matter of learning how things work. Take my job, for instance. I'm presently overseeing the storage of harvested crops. They'll be taken up to the tower for processing, and from there find their way to every dining table in Alexandria. The work is hard, I'll not deny, but I take great satisfaction in what we do. Taken up the tower for processing. Yeah. Ipewi. Dodos! They're saying that you and yours are visitors from beyond the barrier. That's true. So it is. Which means we're connected to the outside world again. Not that I have desire to leave, mind you. I'm quite content with life here in Alexandria. But setting that aside, you're here to observe our work, right? Soda for you, chicken for dinner to me. As you can see, I'm in charge of livestock. Here at Yuppie's Halo, we produce not only fruits and vegetables, but also meat, poultry, and eggs. Tending the animals is an absolute joy. They have to be careful not to grow attached. It's always a little sad when they're shipped off, but a job is a job. Well, I need to get back to it, but it was nice talking to you. Please, give my regards to the Queen. It's like, I knew there were references to 9. I didn't realize they'd go all the way to doing fucking Alexandria becoming a part of the source. Because, like, the way it was being set up was, yeah, another reflection has joined the source. But little did we know. Don't be so hard, too hard on yourself. Anyone would have been hard-pressed to deal with such a thing. Oh, welcome back. My apologies for failing to notice your return. I gather you've had your fill of speaking with the farmers. The learners return to Mahusa. Oop, cutscene. Well, what are your impressions of the farm? Her hair is gone again. Everything was surprisingly normal. I was amazed that everyone loves their work. Electrope is quite impressive. Curious observation. Do you not love your own work? Oh, but I jest. It's true that the people of the outskirts seem most fulfilled. Always. They take their duties with good cheer. What did you think of our little Wuk Lamat? What did you call me? Was that inappropriate? My apologies. I heard the others call you by that name, and I thought... No, it's fine. As you said before, we've no need for titles and formalities. Lamati is letting down her guard. As for my thoughts, I was very impressed. The machines could be used to overcome so harsh an environment is amazing. I've never seen anything like it. Many still find the machinery behind me baffling. They put her hair, headdress, and the dress in the optional items. I instantly buy it. It's a system that controls the distribution of water for the fields and livestock. It's been acting up a bit lately, though. Acting up, you say? Needn't worry, my queen. It happens fairly often. Put simply, it's taken in water that had a strong lightning charge. We think some creatures have become charged up with the energy, and they're releasing it into the river we use as a source. The system would return to normal if the creatures were dealt with, but I'm reluctant to beg it of the army. We can take care of it for you if you'd like. That is most gracious of you to offer, but it's much too dangerous. No, it's no trouble for the Vow of Resolve, Tuliyollal. Regardless of how the relationship between our nations may develop, if there are people in need, I want to help, simple as that. And Bakella's even stronger than I am. It shouldn't take us long at all. And very well. I gratefully accept, but please, take all care. This ought to go even faster if you and I search for lightning-charged fiends on our own. Good hunting. Fiend's hair is supposed to have little bits of green through it. Or at least it did in the first cutscene. But now it doesn't. What the fuck? Okay, now I am utterly confused. Anyway. Light, maybe? It shouldn't be, because it's just that the second, or the hair highlight seems to be gone. Oh, really? I can't drive through the bottom of the bridge. How unrealistic. Ugh. Ah, you're both all right. Thank goodness. You really needn't have worried so much. We barely broke a sweat dealing with the fiends. They're all gone now. Of course I was worried. You're my dear guest. But thank you. We truly appreciate it. Indeed. With this, we won't have to ask Zoralja's machines for help. He's been making a concerted effort to bolster his forces, sparing but a fraction of the people for the people's protection. He thinks nothing of our safety, unlike Queen's Fiend. That's enough, Mahusa. You have grievances, I will hear them later. But to speak of the king now... Nope. He's right. He's never been one to look after his people. Anyway, thanks for letting us tour the farm. The folk here are delightful, and it was a pleasurable to meet them. Couldn't have favored us with more uplifting words. My people are my pride and joy. And you never fail to let us know, nor how much you care. Of course, you're my precious family, all of you. You seem a good sort, Fiend, that I'll admit. You'll forgive me if I'm not ready to lower my guard for the enemy queen just yet. Be to be called that, I dread to imagine what villainy your majesty has committed. Come now, this is no laughing matter. A ruler is responsible for the welfare of countless lives, and one wrong decision can lead to untold suffering. Failure is unconscionable. Now, I believe we are done with the farm. Let's move on, shall we? Perhaps we should head back to the outskirts. I dare say your friends will also have returned by now. My thanks again for dealing with the fiends. Come and visit us at any time. So much of Alexandria I would love to show you. You hear that?
What's happening over there?
See?
It's nearly time.
Her hair color's back.
I'm glad you could make it.
Are you with us?
Queen Sphene has come to see you.
We're here, Namika. Everything is going to be alright.
Oh, Wuk.
What's the matter, dear?
It can't be. That's the bangle I gave to Namika.
You know
I think
her.
she lived another 30 years.
Of course I know her. She was like a mother to me.
I see. She was always willing to lend a kindly ear to others, but rarely did she ever speak of herself.
Is it really you?
She must have arrived shortly before the barrier manifested. For us, it was perhaps days, but for her...
3 decades have
Namika,
gone
it's
by.
me, Wuk Lamat.
I'm afraid her time with us is nearly at an end.
She was
no more
old 30
soul
years
cells?
ago.
She always used hers sparingly, but at her age, it wouldn't make a difference.
Ma'am,
Cell?
the ushers have arrived.
I don't think I've seen a Roth girl among the people here, though.
Thank you, Namika, for your many years of friendship. Take comfort in the knowledge that this is not the end. Be not afraid. Your memory will live on, in us.
Living on in memory. The giants share a similar belief.
Wait, where are you taking her?
Worry not. She is being escorted to a medical facility in the tower. There we will ease her burden. I had hoped to make arrangements for her sooner, but she wished to remain here for as long as possible. I could not bring myself to refuse her.
Is there any way I might stay with her for a little while longer? We may not share the same blood, but she was my mother. Please.
Let us give them some time alone.
As soon as I saw the bracelet, I was just like, that's Namika.
She didn't speak, but I'm grateful that I could be with her at the end. Thank you.
It's not the end.
Hmm?
Oh, nothing. I was just thinking that we have much to discuss. Where shall we begin?
That's kind of sus.
With what we can be reasonably certain of, perhaps. Between what we have witnessed and the testimony of Alexandria's inhabitants, it's safe to say that two distinct lands have indeed become one. What's more, having met Namika, there is no denying the divergence in the passage of time. Taken together, these phenomena strongly suggest that some manner of cross-rift displacement has occurred. Specifically, the displacement of Alexandria from another reflection to the source.
It does seem the most likely explanation.
What perplexes me, however, is the scale of said displacement. It far exceeds what could conceivably be achieved with a Void Gate, or even with the Crystal Tower. In essence, we are dealing with a localized instance of dimensional compression. The Ascians would no doubt liken it to a rejoining. Which invites the question, how was such a feat accomplished?
I wish that I had an answer for you, but this talk of reflections and dimensions is well beyond my understanding. I can only tell you that we lived peacefully under the barrier's protection for many, many years, until the day that peace was suddenly broken.
If I may clarify, the barrier predates Alexandria's displacement.
By several hundred years, yes. To when the continent we call home was ravaged by a devastating cataclysm. The barrier was erected to isolate us from the surrounding land's noxious influence.
I see. And it was only later that it was whisked away, along with its contents, by means unknown.
In other words, Sphene's as lost as the rest of us, right? The Alexandrians didn't mean to end up in Tural.
Ah, but of course, our next stop ought to be Everkeep.
Hmm.
That tower over yonder. Once you have been registered as my guests, you will have access to Solution 9 and its residential district, where you will doubtless gain invaluable insight into Alexandria's state of affairs. Unfortunately, I cannot take you directly to where Zeraljar resides.
That you'd let us in at all goes a long way toward proving you're not content to let Zeraljar do as he pleases. But we're not talking about a simple difference of opinion here. I've come to avenge my father, and to do so, I intend to take Zeraljar's life. Are you willing to stand by and allow Alexandria's king to be slain?
A fair question. Permit me to answer it thus. My people come first. Their welfare is paramount. I will do everything in my power to keep them from harm. It is a ruler's duty.
Sorry about that.
Now, I am off to register you at Everkeep. It may take some time, but you shall find the entrance open to you in due course. Oh, and ere I forget, your mother, Kafkiwa, you might try the Thunder Yards to the east.
The Thunder Yards? Is that where she is?
I'm afraid I can say no more than that. Make for the Thunder Yards, and all will be made clear.
It's not as if we have other pressing business. Not until we can get into this Everkeep, anyway. Thank you for earlier. And for being a friend to Namika these past 30 years. It means a lot to me.
Namika? I'm sorry, but I don't know who you mean.
To aid the easing of passing,
Just with her.
they wipe
This is
people's
some sort of
memory
a
of
joke.
people who
It isn't
die.
funny.
I don't mean to give offense, but I honestly have no idea who you are talking about. I'm sorry.
How can you not know who she is? You're in charge here. She was under your care.
Then in all likelihood, my memories of her have been stored in the cloud. Any person seemingly forgotten without reason is probably there, in the cloud. Oh, I really must be getting back to work. If you'll excuse me.
That's super strange, man. In the cloud. Very unsettling. Yes, indeed. We'll see how this is with other people. far as I could tell, Pepoane genuinely had no recollection of Namika. I've never seen nor heard of anything like this before. What's going on? How could Pepoane suddenly forget about Namika? It's as if he never knew her. Could the same thing have happened to others as well, I wonder? There's only one way to find out. Let's make inquiries about Namika in the area. We can reconvene afterwards at the Aetheryte. Of course, you can get the bike as a mount. An old woman named Namika. I'm afraid I don't know that person. I'm sorry, I couldn't be of help. Do you recall caring for someone until recently? You say that was a woman named Namika. While I can't say for certain it was her, I wouldn't worry. I'm sure she's just been taken up to the cloud. It's concerning. What's that? Do I know a Namika? Never met anyone by that name, and I've worked at the outskirts for a good while now. If she'd spent some time here, I would remember. Is that a way to try to stop people from feeling pain of loss? By forgetting their existence? There's definitely some strange things here. So, it was the same for everyone. Not a single person remembers Namika. It's as if her memory of her has been purged from their minds. While such a thing might be done with magic, to alter the memories of so many at once would be a tremendous undertaking. We would have felt a surge of ether corresponding to the act, too. And I sensed none of that in the moment. Neither did I, but I did notice something else. Right before Pepoane seemingly forgot, a light on the device on the side of his head began to blink. Could there be a connection? Someone also said something about soul cells. But who might we ask about this? If we continued making such inquiries, I expect we would only cause confusion. Indeed, if we can't readily solve the mystery about Namika, perhaps we could search for Kaushia instead. Afshua. Being said to try the Thunder Yards. Should be in this direction. Hello? Possible. Another kind of mechanical soldier. It looks dangerous. We'd better destroy it. Ah. We give chase. I think it understood our words. It might be worth asking it some questions. Aaronville, are you alright? You look like you've seen a ghost. It's nothing. I'm fine. Well, it went off in the direction we're headed anyway, so let's try to track it down. Aaronville definitely seemed to recognize whatever that was. It is quite weird seeing level 97. That being the fact that I'm level 98 Gunbreaker. Nothing but birds over here. Do we get the job gear level 99? I have no idea, Sammy. No sign of it over here. Do not see it. Faster than it looks. That voice, could it be? Oh, is it Kashiwa's voice? And it runs into the cave. Found it! To the northeast. Then it must be bound for the mines. Come on then. Could well be a trap, so let's not rush in too quickly. I think it's safe to assume it went into the mines. An old coal mine. It appears to have long since been abandoned, like so many other places. Stones in those crates. Could it be turquoise? So it went in here? I heard faint voices coming from inside. So it's not alone, but we're still going in, of course. Maybe a trap. Be ready for a fight, everyone. Cutscene? No. Yeah. Oh, ether current. That bat is kind of terrifying. It would appear no one has worked here in worked these tunnels in quite some time. I'm not worried. We've had to improvise countless times before, after all. A device made with electrope. Seems to be the only one here. The tunnel just keeps going. I can hear them. Several people up ahead. Can't make out their conversation with the echoing. Let's keep going. Stay on your guard. Now it's cutscene time. More electrope.
What is this?
Ironville!
A trap?
It really is you!
Eleneshpia. Night night, Sammy. Sleep well.
Who?
I just had to get a look at you in the light, and I can still hardly believe my eyes. But it is you, my darling Eleneshpia!
My darling, what now?
Eleneshpia.
Oh, it's so good to see you, my fussy little bun. What are you doing here? What brings you all this way?
Fussy little bun.
Why the long face? Aren't you happy to see me after all this time?
I know that laugh anywhere. Mother?
Wait. Since when was your mother a weird floating thing?
And what have we here? Say, aren't you Galoo Jaja's kitten? I knew I recognized that adorable fuzzy face. Eleneshpia was always so excited whenever you invited him over to play. You remember me, I hope?
I can't say that I do, but you knew my father?
Appearances notwithstanding, it would seem this is my mother, Kafkiwa.
Kafkiwa.
I'm sorry?
Oh, this won't do. Come in! Friends of my Eleneshpia are always welcome.
All I ask is a little forewarning, but no.
Just when I thought I was starting to get a handle on this place, how are things still getting stranger?
Is this like a resistance force against Zeralja? Or Zeralja, rather? The Alligans had machines that could be controlled remotely. Is she using something similar to communicate with us? Can't say I understand what's going on, but at least Kafkiwa is safe. Ernville's mother is a floating machine. Right. That makes about as much sense as anything else thus far. At this point, I doubt anything could possibly surprise me. Oyakwe. Hello. Oh, excuse me. As far as I could tell, This is indeed my mother. I can think of few people in the world quite so spirited. As to what happened, we'll need to ask her. Let's hear what she has to say. Leshbia. So wonderful to meet you all. And the students of Baldessian. Been a while since I've heard that name. Dare I ask the reason for your appearance? Oh, this? It's just a body that I control remotely. I use this for our operations. We're members of a resistance organization. Oblivion, we call ourselves. And our goal is to thwart Zoralja's ambitions for conquest. As the leader, it's prudent that I remain where I can't be easily found. I see. Whimsical appearances notwithstanding, yours is a serious case. Right you are. Though, truth be told, Oblivion was founded for an altogether different purpose. And that is? As I expect you've already noticed something you see within this dome. Everything you see within this dome, the buildings, the people, the very earth beneath our feet, is a fusion of two worlds. Stopping such a fusion was Oblivion's original mission. Then, does that mean you know who or what is responsible for it? I'm afraid not. This was a long time ago, and our mission statement has become more of a legend that's been passed down to members. By the time we joined, our sole objective was stopping Zoralja. But we failed to do that, and now he's taken his army outside the dome. None of you wear those strange devices on your heads. Does that have something to do with your work? You mean this? It's a regulator, the pinnacle of electro technology. And that we don't wear it is indeed related to our operations. What exactly does it do? Allow me to explain. Regulators have two primary functions. The first, as the name suggests, is the regulation of the wearer's reserve of souls. Should they die, the regulator expends a soul to bring them back to life. Reserve? You mean people walk around carrying spare souls? They do. Souls are packaged in cells, and they can be used to replenish the life force that is lost due to sudden death, such as in accidents. They do nothing for those who die of old age, though. Distribution of soul cells is based on the one's work evaluation, to encourage exemplary performance when fulfilling their duties. Souls as a common resource and payment for services rendered. When the fuck did we step into Dark Souls? The void scent practice of consuming others for their ether comes to mind. And similarly, I expect that the act comes with some risk. Souls being taken. Oh, no. Huh. Zeramus? Doesn't it dilute your sense of self? Would the consciousness of others corrupt your own? That is prevented through memory management, a process in which regulators also play a role. Memory management? Then the reason everyone has forgotten Namika's existence The regulators are constantly recording the memories of their wearer, so if they should suddenly die, their memories can be refreshed as part of the restoration process. This is how they preserve one's identity and sense of self. However, the regulators are also triggered when someone else dies. Reason being is that regulators forcibly extract memories relating to the deceased from anyone wearing one. Why would they do such a thing? It's a kindness bestowed upon the people by Everkeep's core system, so that no one has to suffer the pain of loss. Yep, that is the reason that I was thinking of. So this is what is meant by their memories being in the cloud. Indeed, all memories of the deceased are wiped from the minds of people and archived in the system. It's a frightening function of the regulators, and an integral step in soul cell production. You see, when a person dies of natural causes, their soul is temporarily housed within the regulator. It's then delivered to a facility where memories are separated from the soul. The result is a fresh soul cell, free of impurities, ready for distribution and consumption. So how many times are we going to have to beat Tuliyollal? Meanwhile, the memories are stored in the core system to be remembered forever. And this is why people are happy here? On its surface, it's similar to the Okui philosophy. I see nothing noble or comforting in it. Why? Well, it doesn't seem so terrible to me personally. All comes down to what you're used to, I suppose. Like the barrier encasing Alexandria. This system was created to overcome the calamity that transformed the world hundreds of years ago. Amidst the mounting death toll, scientists used Electrope to devise a means to save what lives they could, so that the nation could endure. I understand that the people of Alexandria, what they believed was best to save their people. I just find it hard to believe that Tural would also accept this way of living. It came to a shock to us as well. In fact, a great many were opposed to it. Which is why the use of regulators was never compulsory. The people have always been free to go without them if they so wish. Sphene doesn't strike me as the sort of ruler to impose her will on others. Ah, so you've already met. She's the one who suggested we come to the Thunder Yards in the first place. She also said she wants to help us stop Tuliyollal. Awfully kind of her to point you in my direction and to speak so candidly as well. Whatever her motives, she has given the people a choice. Live with the risk of true death or the security of the regulators. Everything that lives must someday die. That is the natural order of things. Quite right, but however you feel about them, it would be easier to understand what the regulators are capable of if you saw it for yourself. I know just the person to show you, and as luck would have it, they should be starting work right about now. Who are we going to see exactly? Come with me and you'll find out. Earth and Sky. To alter the memories of the populace with such precision is no small feat. Sorry, but I just can't accept the idea of souls being used as a resource. We're about to see how the regulators work, but how? So, those regulators are to blame for everyone forgetting Namika, for forgetting what a wonderful person she was. What does she intend to show us? Everyone here? Good. It is the responsibility of the Thunderyard's hunters to fell any fiends found wandering the area. We're here to meet an acquaintance of mine, Strika, one of these hunters. A thunder spirit. Back to centuries. Akiwa, what are you doing here and with so many friends? Apologies for the interruption, but I was hoping they might observe you at work. Hunting, you mean? That's fine, I guess. Hold on. I assumed they were wearing special regulators like Queen's Fiend's crown, but they aren't wearing anything at all. It is much too dangerous to be here without one. What if they're struck by lightning or attacked by beasts? I can assure you they're quite capable of looking after themselves. If anything should go amiss, I will take full of responsibility. Well, don't say I didn't warn you. Danger aside, there isn't really much to see. Hafkia said you are a hunter. Wouldn't it be easier for those mechanical soldiers to guard this place? It would, if not for the fact they're weak to lightning. The Thunderyard being what it is, they've been ordered to steer clear. Some good they are, eh? But these facilities are vital to the upkeeping of Alexandria's infrastructure. So it falls to hunters like me to deal with any fiends. Given the danger, we're well compensated for our work. It's a perfect profession for anyone looking to build up savings. The special selection of souls for hunters isn't terrible either. I brought this lot here to see this danger you speak of, if it's not too much trouble to ask. Ah, of course. In which case, it'd be a shame to waste my efforts on just any old beast. You all can handle yourselves in a fight, right? If you cause a ruckus slaying what critters you see nearby, there's a chance you'll draw out something worthy of a demonstration. I'm not sure I understand, but I suppose we should each slay what we can. Oh, maybe I shouldn't be drinking Monster. Affecting my stomach. I don't think that dash works how they want it to. At least the enemies don't respond to the dash immediately. That delay feels pretty bad. This one will do nicely. It's fine, really. I've faced worse. Just watch. And soul recovery. Well, he needs healing. That was embarrassing. Bastard caught me off guard. Are you mad? Seriously, let us help. Told you not to worry. This will only take a moment. very serious, similar to what Zeralja did. Yep. Just like Zeralja. Come on. Let's get out of here. That's also a function of the regulator? Would seem it is. I don't think I understand how Zeralja was able to return from the dead. I think I understand now how Zeralja was able to return from the dead and defeat Papa. But I'm not sure what we saw at the end there. As soon as the regulator turned red, it was as if you were possessed. Your movements became beast-like. Don't tell me, you empowered yourself with the soul of a beast. I'm reminded of the serpentine soldier we encountered at the Vanguard, who did the same. So, you've crossed paths with one of the king's elite. Such a form can only be achieved by gorging yourself on souls. We could do the same in theory, but it's incredibly dangerous. Besides, it's not as if they'd allow hunters to carry that many souls to begin with. Well, I should be getting back to work. Take care. And there you have it. Regulators can be loaded with two kinds of souls. Those of people and those of beasts. The souls of people can be used to grant the user perpetual preternatural? Yeah, preternatural strength. Naturally, they can also be used to ensure no one suffers an untimely death. What about the souls of beasts? They work much the same fashion, imbuing you with the strength of the chosen animal. If, for example, you use the soul of a wolf, you would grow more agile and feral, as you saw with Strika. Using several of the same type at once, however, will result in physical changes. Your teeth might become fangs, your nails claws. Too many, and you'll become more beast than man. Changing one's form through the souls of other beings becomes more and more reminiscent of Void's Hunt. Yet unlike the Void, where the cycle of death and rebirth is simply broken, souls here are forcibly taken before they might reach the ethereal sea. Different means to achieve similar ends. A cycle to which all within the dome are bound. This is wrong. This is all wrong. It is indeed hard to accept, being so far removed from our own beliefs. Perhaps more shocking is that the technology to achieve all this was developed hundreds of years ago. The civilizations and their reflections are surprising indeed. But which reflection? Is it the ninth? Are they doing the name of the reflection is related to the expansion? Or the content of the expansion, I think. When Emmett Selk spoke of surprising civilizations and other reflections, I wonder if he had Alexandria in mind. I understand this is part of their culture, but it is no less disconcerting. Having seen the beauty of the ethereal sea firsthand, I simply can't accept what they've done here in Alexandria. speaks of lived experiences that suggest she's far older than she appears. Considering the power of these regulators, perhaps it's not so far-fetched. I've never seen it for myself, but it is said that if a beast soul is potent enough, a single soul is enough to induce a monstrous transformation. While we all have our thoughts on souls, for now the important thing is we know what powers Zoraal has at his disposal. It is one thing to separate corporeal ether from incorporeal ether, but to strip memories from the soul entirely is unprecedented technology. This is no longer only Tuliyollal's concern. With his newfound power, Zoraal can become a real threat to the entire world. Indeed, he has to be stopped no matter the cost. The worth of a soul. I am going to take a break and call it a night and come back tomorrow. So, we will head to the outskirts. I will make my way back here tomorrow. Thank you, any and all, for watching. I will call it a night. Thank you. Bye-bye.